Hi, this is Cynthia from Cynthia's Chair, and today my chair is a massage table that's going to function as an exercise mat. And I'm shooting this video today in preparation for something that I have coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm actually scheduled for a right total knee replacement in just a few weeks. And there are several things that I'm going to need to do to get ready for that. And I'm going to be shooting a video showing you the exercises that my doctor has recommended that I do prior to my surgery. But before that, I wanted to shoot this video to just inform you of some of the things that I've gone through and why I need a total knee replacement. So back in the 70s, when I was 14, both of my medial meniscus deteriorated. And that's what the doctor said to my mom. That's what they told me. Don't know why they deteriorated. Not sure what exactly happened. And back then, when they did surgery for that, they did a nice long cut. So I have, on both of my knees, I have a scar just like this one after doing the surgery to remove the medial meniscus. So why did I need a knee replacement? Well, my left knee actually was replaced 7 years ago. And the reason that it was replaced is there's a backstory to it. So I'm going to fill you in on that a little bit. But what happened initially with my left leg is I went for a hike with my husband and I ended up with a really sore ankle. I felt like maybe I had sprained it. And I'm pretty good with pain. My pain tolerance is pretty high. And I went for a couple of days and it was not relieving itself, even with some, over-the-counter medication. So I called up my family doctor. He sent me for an x-ray of my foot. The x-ray was fine. Still having pain, so he sent me for an MRI. After the MRI, I get a phone call and said, we don't think there's anything going on with your ankle. We think it's your knee. Okay, so now they sent me to an orthopedic doctor. The orthopedic doctor decided, because I have no medial meniscus, because the x-ray showed that my knees were bone on bone, the femur is actually bone on bone with the tibia, they decided to inject both of my knees with chicken collagen. Now, fortunately for me, my husband was present when I had that done. I had no idea how much pain I was going to be in as they did that procedure. It's a pretty big needle. The collagen's pretty thick. I'm laying down on a mat and they're injecting one knee and then the other. And I nearly passed out. And I have a very high pain tolerance. So got through that, no change. No difference whatsoever to my knees. So now I'm being sent out to see an orthopedic doctor. And I did my research and I found an orthopedic doctor that is really, really good at doing total knee replacements. Now let's go back further as to why did I need a total knee replacement? Well, in the fall of 2010, I had ringing in my ears. Now I'd had the ringing in my ears for a couple of months and I kind of ignored it. My kids started saying, Mom, you're not hearing us when we're behind you talking to you. And I thought, well, I better get to my PCP. So I got to my PCP, told him what was going on, and he felt that I had an inner ear infection. So he put me on a steroid. He also said, just as a precaution, let me send you to a local ENT and let's make sure it's not anything more than that. So I'm on the steroid and I go in to see the ENT. The ENT says to me, I think it's an inner ear infection and I'm going to double the amount of steroid that you're on. And then I'll see you back here in a couple of weeks. He also ordered an MRI as a precaution, just to make sure there wasn't something going on in my head. So I had an MRI done of my head. And shortly after the MRI, I get a phone call from the doctor's office. And that phone call was the doctor himself. Never a good sign when the doctor is calling you directly. So as I'm on the phone with the ENT, he's explaining to me that I have a tumor on my balance nerve. It's called an acoustic neuroma. This particular tumor only grows on your balance or vestibular nerve. Now, the interesting thing about the vestibular nerve or balance nerve is that it runs conjointly with the hearing nerve. They run right together. So the ringing in my ear was a result of this tumor. After a lot of back and forth and praying and trying to decide what my next step was and meeting with a surgeon, a neurosurgeon, as well as the ENT that was going to be involved in surgery, we decided that it was best for me to have that tumor removed. Remover of that tumor meant removing the tumor, but also the entire vestibular or balance nerve. That was removed during the surgery. As a result of that being removed, I completely lost all hearing in my left ear because those two nerves run right beside each other. So I'm recovering from that. And God has made our bodies in such an amazing way that even though I no longer had my balance nerve on my left side, I still had an intact nerve on my right. And so I had to put myself through a series of movements in order to get the right side nerve to take over for the missing left side. So I had to do activities like this where I made myself very dizzy. After 4 weeks, I was able to return to work. But what was happening during that recovery time, and even beyond that 4 weeks, is that my body would fall towards the right. Now, I didn't literally fall, but I would shift to the right. As I shifted, I was putting pressure on this left knee. Now, that shifting was very important. It was something I absolutely had to do because it restored my balance. And just a real quick note on balance. You have your balance or stability of where your head is in space and keeping yourself upright by using 3 things: your eyesight, your feet, and that balance nerve. So I've lost the balance nerve and I rely highly on my vision and highly on my feet to help me know, or help my brain know, I'm not conscious of this, help my brain know where my body is in space. So now I have this dilemma. I have this twisting and pain and discomfort going on in my knees. I went to see the orthopedic surgeon. He took an x-ray, and I'm going to show you the x-ray after my left knee replacement. So here's an x-ray of my knees post-op, pretty shortly after post-op. And you can see here, this is my replacement. You can also see that there's swelling around the knee. That dissipates, and I'll show you that in the most recent x-ray. Also, if you take a look at my right knee, there's very little space right there, which is going to start causing me trouble as time goes on. So I just wanted to show you what this looked like after I had my left knee replaced. Now, recently, I had another x-ray done. This shows the right knee and the left knee. And here's that replacement that I had in my left knee. There's no more swelling. Everything is intact. Everything's in place. When I looked at this section of my right knee, I see that there's been a shift. Not only am I bone on bone, but now I'm actually having my femur is rocking on top of my tibia, and there's a lot of space here. That's not good. So I'm now at the point where I have pain 24/7. You can see that I'm very flexible, which is great, but I have pain and the pain is not going away. And right now the pain is shooting down the outside of my leg and into my ankle. And sometimes when I drive, it's really uncomfortable. So I'm scheduled for this total knee replacement of the right knee. I did want to show you also, I know I showed you my first scar, but here's my second scar when they did the total knee replacement. And I think it's healed up very well. I have scars all over my body, so it was just one more to add to the mix. So I would like to invite you along my journey. We're going to do a video of the exercises that my doctor has recommended that I do pre-op. We're also going to do some video as much as possible during the process, not the actual procedure itself, but what I go through at the hospital. I'm expected to spend the night, which is just sounds crazy that I only stay in the hospital for one night after a total knee replacement. I do have to have X number of physical therapy sessions before I'm released. Looking forward to that, looking forward to the whole process. And there's a lot that's involved, and you'll see that as we produce that video and we share it with you. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I hope that you are interested in the video that we are going to be producing, showing me going through the phases that are necessary for me to have the right knee replaced. Please subscribe to my channel, Cynthia's Chair, and on the little notification bar, just go ahead and check that. That way you'll know when I've had the surgery and you'll be able to follow that process. So I hope this was an informative video. Hope that it piqued your interest, and hopefully I don't look horrible whenever we're doing the videos of me recovering from my total knee replacement. But hey, that's life.